items bought at the Moselle property is being returned to the last living son of Alec Murdaugh. Today, a tweet from Alec Murdaugh's attorney, Jim Griffin, said in part, quote, "I'm so moved by the kindness shown by a purchaser at the auction. Buster accepts your kind offer. Thank you." The item given back to Buster is yet to be revealed. That auction happened about a week ago. Hundreds of people gathered there in Pembroke, Georgia. They were paying thousands of dollars for different furniture items, poems, and other family heirlooms.